So we saw so many movies this year that we thought we would do a video talking about our most disappointing and most surprising. Now, these are not the best and worst movies of the year. That's why we decided to make a separate video. And we'll start with disappointing so that we end on a positive note. And we'll start with my list. We only did 5 each, so let's get started. My 5 most disappointing are Wrinkle in Time, because I was really expecting it was going to be something like something great by Ava DuVernay. It looked really cool. Annihilation, by the creator of Ex Machina, and a sci-fi concept that just looked so interesting, a trailer that was so succinct. It really just was, it fell flat for me. Deadpool 2. Now it's not, again, not a bad movie, it's just, I feel really, it makes me fidget when I watch it, and I hate those types of movies because they're not bad enough, but they commit a sin that we call sequelitis with sequels like that. Ralph Breaks the Internet was another one that was just, for Disney, so lackluster to me. And then finally, a very unpopular opinion, which is why it is my number 5 most disappointing and not my number 1, like Wrinkle in Time, is Ready Player One, because I just thought that with all the big elements, there wasn't even like 10% of the substance to match that, in my opinion.
Now for my top 5 most disappointing, I wanted to name movies I didn't put in my top 10. For number 5, Annihilation, just like I agree completely with you. I was so excited for this movie, but it let me down in so many ways. Without the concept, it was just extremely lackluster, extremely a little bit confusing, and it was nothing but just characters embodying imageries or themes, and that just wasn't what I wanted. For number 4, Halloween, I know a lot of people enjoyed this movie, but without Michael killing people, like, again, you take away the concept, improvisational scenes, I don't even know why it was placed there. It was just very, very bland. Number 3, Deadpool 2. Again, like you, I was just very, very uneasy by this movie. Spoilers, I guess, right from the beginning when they kill Vanessa, I couldn't handle myself that they made that decision, and every decision that they made following the film, I just didn't agree with. It wasn't that entertaining to me. Number 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Sequelitis for me as well. It was just very confusing as to how they placed Ralph's and Vanellope's relationship or friendship, whatever you want to call it, and it felt very uneasy. It was just kind of weird. Now my most disappointing movie of the year, I'm very surprised, actually, as to how many Oscar nominations it got. Cold War. The poster, the trailer, I love foreign movies, and I wanted this to be one of the films that I wanted to brag about to my friends, like, guys, this is the movie you need to see. And surprisingly, it wasn't. It was very disappointing in that way of editing, storytelling, how the characters met. The romance just wasn't developed, in my opinion. Not a bad movie, but just very disappointing.
Now with top 5 most surprising. My number 5 most surprising was Fantastic Beasts 2. And I want to explain, that's an example in my surprising category that I do think is a bad film, but I was surprised at how much I was enjoying watching it after the first one, which I did not like at all. And I was surprised at how they just used simple, basic filmmaking and screenwriting techniques that just made the film better, because it was a film. Number 4 was Tomb Raider. Again, not quite where video game movies need to be to sort of rise to the ranks of comic book movies, which I feel like they're trying to do. But Tomb Raider, especially that second half, it was really well done in terms of how grounded it was, in terms of how creative it was, and in terms of the element of survival. That theme was really ingrained in the film, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. This one was a pleasant surprise. Number 3 was Miracle Season. I saw that trailer all 8-9 times I saw Last Jedi. It looks super cheesy, like one of those films that doesn't really, it doesn't care about making a good film, it just wants to do the emotional stuff, and by doing that, it doesn't actually capture the emotion. This captured the emotion of this in a way that I didn't think it was going to, so props to this film. Number 2, one of the most fun films I saw this year, that wasn't something like Mission Impossible or Avengers, was Overlord. I remember looking at the trailer, not knowing what to think of the tone, what to think of the concept, any of it, and then, wound up being a really good film. And then number 1, nominated for an Oscar, didn't expect that, not sure how I feel about that, was Bohemian Rhapsody. And it was only because of the fact that I saw it, I was like, okay, people are going to be excited, don't know how good it's going to be, even though people are going to be excited. And then I saw the critic reviews, but then once I saw the film, it was this unique, wild ride that, no, it wasn't a perfect film, but that's also what added to the intrigue in my mind.
Now, my top 5 most surprising movies, I really was entertained by them, and I quite enjoyed them. Number 5 being Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Now I know this is very surprising to me as well. I really admired how they focused on the past of Meryl Streep's character with Lily James, and how she met the character, and how she met the guys, and the music involved. I got wrapped up, and I got quite emotional at the end, and I couldn't believe it. Number 4, Miracle Season. I couldn't believe that I got emotional in this as well. Like, it was just very heartfelt, and how the characters had to deal with the drama, with the aftermath of a very innocent woman dying in high school, and how it just saddens to even think about how the father has to deal with this, or how the coach, how the team comes together. And it's based on a true story. Like, at any scene you can pinpoint out of the movie, and it just makes me tear up. Number 3 is A Simple Favor. I had a blast watching this in a packed full theater with an audience, just they're laughing at the right moments. It was just very exciting, very surprising in the sense that it was unpredictable, a little bit wild. I don't even know if it's a great movie, but it was a very fun movie, and one that I was very satisfied with. Number 2, like you, is Overlord. This is the best roller coaster I had in 2018. It has a lot of good character development, it has a lot of good action, and the writing isn't that bad. Number 1, just like you, Bohemian Rhapsody. I knew this was probably going to be a good movie, but what made it to be a great movie was how wrong the critics are. I thought it was going to be very choppy, very messy, but it just wasn't. Maybe a little bit of bad pacing, but what they did with Queen, and especially if you're a fan of Queen, I would just say recommend it. It's a great movie, and one that I was very surprised by.
I think we have a pretty good list of where we stand on very strong films, whether it's surprising films or weak films or strong films, and excited to see what 2019 brings. So before you go see a movie, check in with us first. Thanks for watching. Bye.